packed here today. You know, the new Patriotic Party NPP is holding a presser. What exactly are they going to talk about? We'll be telling you about that. There's also an issue where a newborn baby was stolen from a hospital here in Accra, Mamprobi. But as we've been told, the baby has been found. What is the backstory? What is the latest update on that? We have that here as well for you. Coupled with some other issues concerning leadership and how to even, maximize an opportunity as a leader. All conversations here, and one way or the other, you may be coming to you with some, 1-2 stories as and when they break, here on Good Afternoon Ghana. But my colleague, Harriet Adi, is also here in the studio with the latest stories from around the country. I'm also hearing from her that come Saturday is what we call Mother Thank Day here in the country. And I want to find out from her which language she speaks aside English. I tried to speak a bit of Fanti, a bit of Hausa, Chi, and maybe some Ga somewhere. Harriet, I don't know which of the languages you speak aside the English. Do you speak any other language aside English and Chi?
I speak French.
Let's talk about local languages like Ga.
I speak Chi. Oh. I understand Ga, not so fluent. I understand a little bit of Adam and a bit of Ewe too. That is, if you're talking about me. If it's about me, I will understand. But if it's not about me, I don't.
So if I should speak something in Ewe, you may not understand?
That is if it's about me.
How about if I say something in Hausa?
No, not at all.
Like in the cure. Do you know what cure means?
Nah.
It means you're looking pretty. Don't get scared, okay? Anyway, take us through the latest stories from around the country.
Oh, let's take a look at what's coming up this bulletin. That Dr. Agnes Namomolati visits Mamprobi Polyclinic in relation to the stolen baby that has been retrieved. We will tell you more. And government of Ghana pays 10 billion Ghana cedis in interest obligations under the domestic debt exchange program as part of a broader fiscal consolidation strategy. And also coming up, opposition New Patriotic Party briefs press later today on internal party election guidelines and timelines. We will bring you live updates from there. This and many more coming up shortly. Now to our very first story, a suspect involved in baby stealing incident at the Mamprobi Polyclinic has been arrested and taken to the Dansoman police station. The newborn was allegedly stolen from the health facility on Tuesday, a middle-aged woman reportedly posing as a nurse. Meanwhile, the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Namomolati, speaking to the media after a meeting with management of the health facility, has given an assurance that the matter will be pursued to the end.
Let me say a big thank you to the security. I want to thank the media. I want to thank my MPs, colleague MPs, and I want to thank the community and the health workers here. We've had a debriefing and we've all compared notes. We've seen what went wrong, and we are going to correct and make sure that the systems and structures that are here to support quality healthcare are good enough to keep all citizens safe and secure. So I'm assuring the community that this health facility remains one of the best in this region and in the country. And so let's continue cooperating with them. I will urge my youth and the community members to calm down, because the good thing is that by the grace of God, the baby is safe, the mother is also safe. The police are going to cooperate with the health workers here. They are going to provide them security to prevent any attack from them. We know tempers are high, but please calm down, and let's work together to serve Mother Ghana and continue serving her. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
So on the backdrop of this story, my colleague Desmond Okrekudanso is following the baby theft case, and he's joined us with updates. He's currently at Dansoman. Desmond, if you can hear me, what more can you tell us about the case?
Right. The polyclinic, and this has been the center of attraction in terms of the incident that happened yesterday, and a few other angry residents who were here registering their displeasure about the incident that had happened. As you mentioned also, we know that the suspect has been arrested and taken into custody at the Dansoman police station, and the baby has been reunited with their mother. A few minutes ago, the mother came back into the facility with the help of the police, who have actually come here, so many of them around this particular premises. And he mentioned to me that the mother has been traumatized together with them. The way the incident happened, where the woman took their baby, and so the woman is really traumatized, as well as the whole family, and they are going to pursue very end. Also, we know that Alfred Oko van der Poel, the Honorable, came here earlier in the day, and also the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Namomolate, was here earlier in a meeting with the management of this facility to understand what exactly happened and to make sure that such incidents do not happen again. And she mentioned that they are going to pursue this to the very. You see that, as I mentioned now, police security here is very tight. You can see a lot of the security men here. Earlier, the regional police commander was here. Police commander is also here, and they are in there. And I tried speaking to the management of the hospital, and they also mentioned to me that they are unable to speak now, but they are in a meeting and will definitely let us know what happens with that. We're going to go inside now. As you can see, the press going back in, and I think there's going to be an address. We're going to try and get that from the authorities here. So going to give us an address here, so we'll wait for that. And so yeah, this has been the situation here at the Mamprobi Polyclinic, and where earlier a lot of angry residents were here asking for justice, and this was also when tensions flared up, and you had some of them, having some engagements with the police officials here, and we also know that one of them hit a police officer in the heat of the moment. So we're still here waiting. Hopefully the management are done with their meeting, and then they will speak to us about the way forward for this particular situation. I have a lady here. She's a resident, and she'll be speaking to us about if this incident has even happened before and what she thinks about the situation. Hi, welcome to Metro TV. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Madam Alberta.
Alberta, so talk to us from yesterday to today, the whole incident. What have you seen, and what are your thoughts about it?
Actually, yesterday I was home and a friend of mine posted. She sells food in front of college. What happened? And she was like, someone.
Okay, let me just come in. So, I've just seen that the mother back of the building, the escort of the police, and so they didn't do this for us to be able to capture that, but you can see the police moving towards that area, and that is where so we're going to capture that. The mother is being moved into the vehicle, and we're going to see that as whether she'll be brought back in here. But this is the situation here at the Mamprobi Polyclinic, and so yeah, as I mentioned to you, yeah. Okay, so it looks like the police are making it very hard for us to be able to see that the mother is being moved out of the facility. But this is the current situation here at the Mamprobi Polyclinic, and yes, I engaged some of the residents who told us that they know of other incidents that happen in this particular facility, but not that of baby theft. They have not seen that happening here. So I'm going to continue engaging Alberta here as we try and see if. So Alberta, so you were telling me that this you haven't seen this here before.
Oh, yeah, actually, it has happened before by then, but from now going on time, we heard such a thing, but just yesterday, and we heard of it, and it was shocking. So today, I in the dressing room, and I heard the nurses for dressing. And then I was in the dressing room, and I heard the nurses shouting, "Hey, they bring back the baby, bring back the baby." So I was also happy, and then I came out to see a lot of people coming inside the hospital and all that. So I went back to dress myself and done lots of people. And then people from Jamestown, I think the family of the woman who gave birth, yes, they were doing routes and all that, but the this thing, what they call it, assemblyman of Mamprobi and Chenche, they were all in, and then they settled everything, and then it wasn't easy here. It was a lot of fighting issues and all that, but we thank God we have found the baby. At least the mother will be happy. That's all.
Thank you very much, Alberta, for speaking to us. So she was here earlier, and she saw all that was happening with the angry residents, some of the family of the lady who had given birth, and also the gentleman. If you see the father, he's visibly distraught about the situation, and we'll definitely definitely see if any updates do come up from that. As I mentioned, we are actually waiting for the management via meeting. They've mentioned that this is now beyond them. It has gone to the national level. So as and when anything happens, they'll definitely let the media in on that. So that's the situation here, where she's been arrested and placed in custody there, and there's tight security here at the Mamprobi Polyclinic. So this is what I can report now from the Mamprobi Polyclinic.
Bringing us that update. I'm sure we are going to get more updates in our subsequent bulletin, especially on News Night. But away from that, the Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafuboni, has determined that petitions seeking the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jan Mensah, her two deputies, and the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ejibin, do not establish a prima facie case to warrant further action. The presidency disclosed the decision in a statement issued on Wednesday, February 18, 2026, and signed by the Minister for Government Communications, Phyllis Kwachu Fusu. Here's the full statement. Now, following the receipt of 7 petitions from various individuals and groups for the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission and her deputies, and 3 petitions for the removal of the Special Prosecutor, President John Dramani Mahama, in accordance with Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution and Section 15 of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, Act 959, referred same to His Lordship Justice Paul Bafuboni, Chief Justice, on 25th November 2025 to determine whether the petitions disclose a prima facie case. Now, by a letter dated 27th January 2026, the Chief Justice informed His Excellency the President that no prima facie case has been established by the petitions to warrant any further investigations for the removal of the Electoral Commissioner, Deputy Commissioners, and the Special Prosecutor. Now, this was signed by Phyllis Kwachu Fusu, MP, spokesperson to the President, Minister of Government Communications. And to some other stories, the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has disclosed that the ministry has constructed 7 factories to promote value addition across key agricultural commodities, including cashew processing plants, as part of efforts to boost growth within the country's economic space. The minister made a revelation on the floor of Parliament during ongoing debates, highlighting the government's commitment to industrial expansion and agri-business development.
The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has established 7 factories for value addition with support from Ministry of Finance and IFAD. They include a cashew factory, 2 cassava factories, poultry, maize, and cashew. Yes, I mentioned cashew already. And in this year, the ministry, the ministry is coming up with 2 cashew factories. Cabinet approved for the construction of 2 cashew factories, one in Bono East, another in Bono region, to be financed by EXIM. The government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is up and doing in value addition.
And the minority leader questioned the Minister for Trade to brief the House on incentives provided to help the private sector after the government succeeded in collapsing the 1D1F initiative by the outgone government.
7 factories she refers to. Are they being fully funded by the private sector, or they are being funded by the state? And if so, what are the amounts involved?
And the minister answered to the call of the minority leader. Let's take a listen.
The factories are funded solely. Okay, so it's not funded by 2 groups, the Ministry of Finance and then IFAD. No private sector contribution, except that it will be run by the private sector. So, Honorable Speaker, there is no, yes, IFAD, yes.
Please, and you are not to answer anybody from the periphery.
Yeah, okay.
You answer the question and you address the chair.
No. Right, Honorable Speaker, the factories are financed by the Ministry of Finance and IFAD. No private sector contribution. Thank you.
Away from that, residents of Achimotumi-Sikkim in the Kwaibirim municipality say they are suffering severely due to the deplorable state of their road network. The situation, according to them, has left the community engulfed in dust and caused the collapse of several businesses.
According to the residents, numerous efforts have been made over the years to get the road fixed. They recalled that the Member of Parliament for the Kade constituency, Alexander Kujo Ajare, promised to rehabilitate the road during the period when the NPP was in power, but the promise was never fulfilled. The chief of Achimotumi-Sikkim, Bafo Labi I, together with the assembly member for the Anwiamo electoral area, Abuaji Emmanuel, has passionately appealed to the government to urgently fix the road, stressing that lives are being lost as a result of the situation.
Omubo ade ba wenya otumi esikambi eka Ghana ho kota di kota aboye nsenia Johnson abo takrabo akoko no ye hu kota da oye kromu ha ayama wonwa be pese wo ba bi digwa wo kromu ha wode on the probable krum ha kase word baby digwa ababeton wo krum ha ayeden amaye sanse omo wo kwan ho di edwa bia betimi atotobi na ye nyina akwa yare asande ama ye ho.
Meanwhile, Community members and business owners who have borne the brunt of the poor road conditions say the excessive dust from the road is affecting their health and destroying their livelihoods.
Into a more modern answer, my friend. People for crowd, see how they do a brim of I said, or continue our water can. I say, well, a plan who will pass one. I say, my men and Cassandra, how one Cassa. The best three are buying, say, oh, we are mobile. No more. Now you're fine, on your mind. You're fine, the act.
Ah, you know, you're shaking your Namusia. MY. Ya can't want some this in there. And then you want more peppers, so son, I'm more senior. Futuro na de higher pa and your best.
They lamented that road accidents have become frequent, businesses are collapsing, and residents are exposed to serious health risks due to the dust.
And the Member of Parliament for Ho West and Board Chairman of Gets Fund, Emmanuel Kwesi Bajra, together with the Volta Regional Minister James Gunu, has cut the sword for multiple educational infrastructure projects at Amejope and Chito Awudome in the Ho West constituency. Now, the projects form part of the government's pragmatic efforts to address the deficits in the sector and help eliminate double-track system in senior high schools.
Ceremony held at Amejope College of Education and Awudome Senior High School covers the construction of a 2-story 12-unit lecture hall complex, a dining hall with kitchen facilities, a classroom block, dormitories for boys and girls, teachers' bungalows, and other essential school facilities. Speaking at the event, Ho West Member of Parliament Emmanuel Bajra expressed confidence that the project, when completed, will ease congestion and improve teaching and learning.
As His Excellency promised that he was going to eliminate what we call the double-track system, where students go to school in the morning and some go in the afternoon. His commitment to the good people of this country is that there won't be any double-track system under his watch, and therefore he's committed in ensuring that all infrastructure deficit will be taken care of.
The Volta Regional Minister assured the authorities will closely monitor the project to ensure quality work and timely completion.
We need to do effective monitoring and supervision of these projects, and that we are going to do to ensure that the contractors deliver. They organize regular site meetings while they can discuss progress of work.
Meanwhile, the principal of Amejope College of Education, Dixon Che, appealed for an assembly hall and a modern administration block to further enhance academic work at the institution.
Among all the 38 colleges of education, the former 38 colleges of education, we know now we are about 49. Amejope is the only one I know that does not have an auditorium.
And to some other news, the Vice President of Ghana, Professor Nana Jinno-Poku-Agyeman, has emphasized the importance of women's leadership in shaping the country's future, highlighting the need to address structural and cultural barriers that hinder women's advancement. Now, speaking at the annual conference for women in leadership in the public sector, she stressed that promoting women's leadership is essential for good governance, transparency, and inclusivity.
Some of these barriers are obvious, while others are less noticeable. They include limited access to senior level opportunities and decision-making rules, unequal career advancement opportunities, and increased domestic responsibilities. Addressing these challenges requires deliberate policies, structural reforms, and supportive institutional practices. This is because promoting women's leadership is essential for effectiveness, transparency, and inclusivity, which are key pillars of good governance. As we know, His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama, continues to emphasize the importance of women to national development. Under his leadership, Ghana is committed to women's representation at the highest levels of governance and public service. His Excellency has directed that public service agencies ensure a minimum of 30% female representation in leadership positions by this year, with an increase to 50% by 2030. This directive is a deliberate policy measure to advance the objectives of the Affirmative Action Act and institutionalize gender equity as a cornerstone of our development agenda. Additionally, government's Resetting Ghana agenda places gender equity and justice at the heart of national development. The agenda places a strong emphasis on women's political inclusion, economic empowerment, social welfare, and protection from violence. This commitment is reflected in a series of transformative policies and interventions for inclusive growth. Notably, the government has successfully implemented economic reforms that have helped stabilize the economy, reduce inflation, and restore confidence in Ghana's financial outlook.
And the Deputy Administrator of the National Mosque of Ghana and member of the Office of the National Chief Imam of Ghana, Alhaji Kango, has urged all Muslims to promote peace, especially during the month of Ramadan, set to commence in February. He was speaking at the Mahaba Ramadan in Accra.
Ramadan 2026 is expected to begin around February 18 or 19, 2026, lasting for 29 to 30 days, subject to the sighting of the moon. The Ghanaian Muslim community gathered at the National Mosque to observe Mahaba Ramadan, marking the beginning of the holy month of Ramadan. The program, held a week before Ramadan, serves as a precursor to the holy month. Deputy Administrator of the National Mosque of Ghana and a member of the Office of the National Chief Imam of Ghana, Alhaji Jaber Kango, speaking to the media, said the program will promote awareness on the upcoming holy month.
Ramadan is a month of peace, and for that matter, we organize this program to conscientize people, to welcome, to be ready physically and spiritually in order to witness this glorious month. In Ramadan, we have a lot of activities that we do in Ramadan, not only worship. So for that matter, in order to attain the reward that we are expecting, we conscientize ourselves pre-Ramadan for us to prepare adequately to fast in Ramadan.
Director of Hudai Foundation, Ramzi Seker, and Imam of the National Mosque of Ghana, Ali Guven, urged all Muslims to participate in the activities of the holy month. PA to the National Chief Imam, Dr. Mohammed Mazouk Azindo, spoke on the need to promote moral and cultural values in Ghana.
You can see a disturbing trend of indecency among the men and women. I don't want to limit it to the ladies alone, because that will be gender bias. And of course, we are now in a world of gender equality. So definitely, we need to re-examine our pursuit of our values. If we are able to re-examine that, we'll be able to come back to the glorious days of decency. But one of the means by which we can do that is to utilize the period of Ramadan.
This year's Mahaba Ramadan marks the 4th consecutive year of hosting the event in Ghana, bringing together students, chiefs, malams, and representatives from various nationalities, including Palestinians, Nigerians, and others.
And before I hand over to Bright, the government of Ghana has paid 10 billion Ghana cedis in interest obligations under the Domestic Debt Exchange Program, commonly known as DDEP. The payment covers cedi-denominated DDEP coupon obligations in line with the country's debt restructuring agreement and broader fiscal consolidation strategy. The Ministry of Finance noted that the timely settlement sends a strong positive signal to both domestic and international investors reinforces market confidence and is expected to enhance stability within the financial sector, particularly for banks and pension funds. According to a statement issued by the Ministry of Finance, the payment was made on Wednesday, February 18, 2026, and represents the 6th coupon settlement under the program. This is also the second full cash payment made without any payment in kind component, a move government says reflects improved fiscal capacity and solvency. Government has further reaffirmed its commitment to meeting all future DDEP obligations, citing strong financial buffers, improving macroeconomic fundamentals, declining inflation, lower interest rates, and a more stable cedi. Well, that's it for the news on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Harriet Adi Wright.
Well, Harriet, thank you so much. And quite a worrying situation there at the Mamprobi Polyclinic.
Yeah.
Very disturbing.
Very
I'm just
disturbing.
trying to understand what actually is going through there. The lady or the woman who actually went for the baby. It's but what as a woman, what do you think will make a married woman want to steal another's baby, though?
The society we live in puts pressures on women. As a woman, even if you don't get married, you should have a child. And when I was watching Desi interview or give us the live update, I kept saying to myself, if this is happening at Mamprobi, which is not relatively a bigger hospital, you can imagine what happens in the other hospitals that we have no idea. Or I wonder if there are cameras, there are tighter security. Because we've been hearing these stories, we watch them in movies, we hear them out there, but I've never really gotten, police getting results telling us that the babies have been returned and all that. So this is good, and I hope that stricter, laws and rules will govern situations, especially in the maternity wards, so that situations like this do not occur again.
I mean, in this way, we have to give the accolades to the police service. That was quite a swift response from them. We are grateful. And also, just as if you are on our Facebook page on Metro TV, at Metro TV, you see that the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Agnes Na Momolate, is assuring the public that concerns raised will be pursued to their logical conclusion following her engagement with management of health facility. And so, the bites on our Facebook page, you can actually equally go there and check it out. But yes, just know that, be rest assured that they are up and doing. In as much as I want to say that I pity the lady who actually stole the baby, there's really no justification for doing so, because you are putting another person in jeopardy, in mental menace. And so it's all good that the baby has been found. And we just hope that whatever investigation is conducted, it should make sense, it should just make sense. Thank you, Harriet. You are watching Good Afternoon Ghana on DSTV channel 277. From our studios here at Ridge in Accra, the Kuyaboy Studio at the number 10, Dr. Iset Street, North Ridge. This is where we are. Stay with us. After the break, we continue.
Branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
with you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. I'm in the valleys. Keep your head up high. Got to dream with Puma drinks. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make me start the blessing. Oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
Oh yeah, Ghana is opening a new chapter in green growth and investments. Tree Crops Developmental Authority, TCDA, presents the first Ghana Tree Crops Investment Summit and the first Tree Crops Industry Awards 2026. The four-day event runs from the 17th of February to the 20th of February 2026 at the Accra International Conference Center. Morning sessions start at 8 a.m. and afternoon sessions start at 1 p.m. daily. Theme: Sustainable Growth through Tree Crops Investment, Resetting and Building Ghana's Green Economy. The summit brings investors, policymakers, agribusiness leaders, entrepreneurs from cashew, coconut, oil palm, rubber, mango to share from all over the world to connect. Climaxing the summit will be a special gala night and first Tree Crops Award ceremony. For exhibition, sponsorship and registration, contact us on 0303-981-790. Visit our website at tcda.gov.gh or connect with us via our social media platforms at TCDA Ghana. Registration is required to invest in Ghana. Grow tree crops. The future is green. Be part of it. Seacoms beyond cocoa. Our Seacoms, our future. Come one, come all.
Every Thursday morning, the spirit of the school come alive. From the marching bands to the dining halls, the fear and the panic stories, the convoys to old students' pride, to unforgettable homecoming moments. Metro TV brings you the school's homecoming show live. Relive the glory, celebrate the legacies, reconnect with the memories that shape legends like you. The celebrations, the anniversaries, the homecoming activities, and the legacy projects that you embark in your school. The Metro TV School's Homecoming Show comes to you every Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. live on Metro TV. This is the School's Homecoming Show live on Metro TV.
We appreciate you staying with us here on the show. This is Good Afternoon, Ghana. Let's now talk about some road carnage. Issues of accidents in the country, unfortunate ones. And barely 2 months into the year, Ghana is already counting more road crashes than celebrations from January to February. Accidents have surged at an alarming rate, leaving families shattered, breadwinners lost, and communities in mourning. Now, the worrying trend raises urgent questions about road safety, enforcement, and driver discipline across the country. Let's turn to our video wall for some statistics on road accidents from 2024 through to 2025. Now, take a look at this. And there you have it. Cases reported as at December 2025 is at 1,423, and December 2024 1,072. With he said the changes compared to 2024 from 2025 is it stands at 32.7%, and that's an increase. And you can see the arrow actually going up, showing an increase in that one there. And vehicles involved, December 2025 is 2,406. December 2024 is at 1,000. If you compare both years, you see an increase of 33.1%. Persons killed 276 in December 2025. Person killed in 2024, as in December, stood at 238, and a huge increase there, 16%. That's a huge one, an increase, a huge one. And persons injured, as at December 2025, was at 1,541 compared to December 2024. That stood at 1,249, with another huge increase of 23.4%. And you look at pedestrian knockdowns. That's one of the biggest issues here. Pedestrians knockdown, as at 25 December, stood at 249, and December 2024, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, was at 186%, and 186, and the percentage at 33.9%, and that is quite a huge margin there as well, an increase. So all the arrows you're seeing here, there's nothing like decrease. Nothing is coming down, almost like an inflation where we used to say inflation never comes down, even though we are seeing inflation come down now. This one is actually going up with no decrease in sight. Quite a worrying one. And so if we take a look at this as well, as you can see on your screen, let's look at cases reported, vehicles involved, persons killed, persons injured, and pedestrian knockdowns. Quite another worrying one here as well. And so you are seeing all these figures here, and the question you want to ask yourself is, what exactly are we doing in education? We know that road safety has been talking almost every single time. MTTD is always talking to us and all that, but we seem to not to be paying attention, or probably the persons involved, or the victims, or the... it's a lot. And the worrying one here, I told you earlier, is the pedestrian knockdowns. You just be walking by the roadside and you don't know what happened, you just get knocked down by a vehicle. Either you lose your life, or it gets an eternal injury. Quite a sad one there. Reverend Cyril Benedict Crab is president of Accident Victims Support Ghana, and we want to speak to him to find out what exactly the issue is. Is it us as humans or as Ghanaians? Do we just not pay attention, or probably education on these things is low? Not to really say that we are going to play the blame game here, but only to find understanding and meanings to what is happening here in the country. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Grateful. I mean, you just saw the graph.
Sure.
One of the most wrong situations right there is pedestrian knockdowns.
Exactly.
On the high, on the rise. It doesn't look like it's coming down. And almost all the arrows you saw, it's just climbing up. What exactly is the issue here with us?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Sorry. And let me quickly say thank you to everyone that shared my birthday wishes across, especially my spiritual father, Evangelist Kofi Champon, and also my school, the Sabah Secondary School,
right?
C class, for sharing my, wonderful memories with me yesterday, and so I want to thank all of them that shared my birthday with me.
Oh, happy belated birthday to you.
Oh, yesterday was my birthday. I celebrated the birthday with one of your producers.
Is it Josiah?
Josiah.
Yes, Josiah's birthday was yesterday as well.
Yes, Josiah. Yes. Yesterday. He didn't wish me yesterday, but, but he reminded me.
He was also in a happy mood. So
sure.
Please,
and Chief Supo, Alexander Koko also celebrated yesterday. He's one of the people. So I want to thank all and sundry that celebrated me yesterday. Secondly, the accident victim support has been in existence for some over a decade now, and we are a humanitarian organization where we're trying our best to help crash victims. We have worked hand in hand with the National Road Safety Authority, and currently we are the leading voice for all crash victims. Our mission is to make sure crash victims' voice are heard and their plight have also been, solutions have been found for their plight, which is very challenging. We are all vulnerable. I don't know if you have been involved before.
By God's grace.
Oh, you've been involved before?
No.
You have not?
Yes.
I pray you will never be.
Amen.
Because it's one thing that I don't even wish for my worst enemy. because when you get involved in a crash, and these days where we are entering into not just the gory crashes, but now we are entering into bent, road crashes. It means that the situation have moved from worrying into, a gory, not even gory, but more devastating ones. That we need to find a holistic approach. Let me state here that I agree with the National Road Safety Authority last year on a very big platform, which I was one of the speakers. He made a statement. He said Ghana has failed. They have failed. And not only them, but even the drivers and all road users have failed. And I think that statement should make the country more worrying, even than the crashes that is being happening now on our roads. Look at the statistics you just shown.
Right.
I'm looking at the one here, persons killed. When you look at the CIDs, for the past 2 years, or even last year was very, very bad. Last year, we shouldn't have even allowed it to happen in the first place, but it happened because there were changes, political changes where they were doing all sort of things. The National Road Safety Authority, according to them, they were not giving any resources for them to work. So you can imagine.
Government didn't give them anything to work with.
Any resources to work
because of elections?
I don't know. I don't know the reason why. And it was coming from the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Lawyer Abraham Amaliba. He said that they never received anything. So they didn't do anything. No education, no advocacy, nothing that they did. You understand? And that was a very, very worrying situation. Because this, what we are discussing now, currently is the #1 killer. It is no more tuberculosis, no more malaria, and the rest that you can think about. Road accident is the #1 killer. And just as we have dealt with anything that kills us, we need to also deal with the nation needs to deal with the road carnages or the road crashes head on with some kind of alacrity. But it looks like we have let our guards down, and it is happening. Last year, 2025, within the first 2 months, we had 175 people dying, which was 11 a day. 11 a day. Last year, statistics from various recognized, institutions like CATS and Bloomberg and the rest, they came up and they said, hey, 8. But we, from the Accident Victim Support Foundation, we did our statistics and we realized that we have 11 a day dying on our roads. Okada.
Even if it's one.
It's one too many.
Even if it's one.
It's one, and this is a life. This is not just some chippings or some sticks, sticks, or some sand or something. We are talking about life. And the tree will say that moja edi or momo afusane. These are breadwinners. These are family heads. These are women who have given birth. These are hawkers who have children, who have the future, who can be president, who can be parliamentarians, who can be chief justices, who can be lawyers, doctors, and these road carnages which keep on increasing is taking their lives away. And I think it's a matter of concern where we have to. Why have we shirked responsibility on our roads? Number one, you can see that the 3 E's, which is the education, the enforcement, and then the engineering, we have failed in all. Thank God that the big push have come and is doing some roads very nice. They are repairing some roads, they are reconstructing some roads, the bypass road that they said they would do. I am happy for it. You understand? And even the president stating that heavy duty tractors are now going to be penalized for overloading, from the presidency himself. And I thank God for that statement, because these heavy duty trucks which are overloading are really, really warning out our roads. And for him to come up with that statement, I think he needs to be commended. But are we going to adhere to what he has said? Are we going to enforce what he has said? Honorable Agboja is doing his best, and he has been in it. I've been with Honorable Agboja. He has been a road safety advocate for a long time. I've known him for about 16 years. Talking about road issues. Now he's the minister, he's doing his best. But are we as a country ready to ensure that we are going to bring, or we are going to reduce these carnages on our roads? Look at the CID. Keep on, and I look at the people who had died. 23% last year. It is very worrying. People who get injured, those are the people we take care of. If you have asked me to come with a victim, with a very serious issue. We have a 26-year-old at Sogakope. Your cameras can follow me there. The tire of the car got bust. The car somersaulted about 3-4 times. This boy came out from that car with a shifted spine. And as I talk to you right now, his hands and the entire body could not move. For him to be operated upon, they need more than 100,000 Ghana cedi. We are an organization which is not supported by government, it's not supported by any institution, but thank God to the Pentecost Church who came to our aid so that we can be moving around. These victims call upon us and we cannot even support them. I can mention more, but this is fine. This is the future. He's an IT expert who has just completed school. He said, I'm going to tell my mom I've completed. And this driver drove on top speed. His tire was not good. The car somersaulted. He came out. And currently, he has been discharged from the Ridge Hospital, sent to Sogakope for the girlfriend and the father to take care of him. How do we do that? It is a result of road accident. So you look at the CID, it is more than worrying. It is scary now. And it can happen to you. Look at how you have your tie on. So beautiful. God forbid. But what if you are involved today?
I remember during my time at the radiology department at the 37 Military Hospital.
Great.
You know, it's close to the emergency ward.
Sure.
Sometimes you'll be...
That's
you'll be
Eastmont. That's Eastmont ward.
Yes. You'll be at the office and you see an ambulance or a taxi or a rush bringing crushed victims.
Exactly.
You can actually feel it. You literally feel their pain.
In fact, we are sitting on a time bomb. Take it from me. These days, I wouldn't say because I'm looking for support and so I'll keep quiet. Let me be very honest with you. No, we are sitting on a time bomb. In our office, last 2 years, we were receiving 14 calls. Last year, it increased to about 17 calls. As I talk to you now, I've not been in town for about a week. I went for a crusade at Agogo. When I was coming, I was receiving not less than 8 calls, and I was transferring them to the office. The situation is so dire that prevention of road carnages at this moment must be taken head on. We must find a way to prevent the accident. And one sure way that I can agree with everyone that we can do as a country is the education. Apart from education, we must do enforcement. That is why I have taken upon myself to do the road safety pledge. The road safety pledge is there, that everybody will have to make a pledge so that we ride and drive carefully so we all stay alive.
Ride and drive
carefully. Unfortunately, I didn't bring so that we can do it together. I didn't bring the card. It's in my car. We need to pledge as a country. And I will use your podium to call upon the president that he should be part of this campaign. That when Ghanaians hear, anything that comes from the presidency, anything that comes from parliament, anything that comes from a politician in Ghana here, the way we have politicized everything, it means that the thing is good. So if the presidency can say, as humanitarian as he is, if he can say that I, as a president, I am pledging to ride and drive carefully on our roads so that we all stay alive. I don't think, excuse me, your name again?
Bright.
Bright, you would want to override what the president have said. And so you would drive, on a top speed than what the president does. I understand that convoy, do drive 100 kilometers per hour, but you are not a convoy.
Right.
You are an individual vehicle. Thirdly, we need to also educate our drivers.
Okay.
You understand?
As an accident victim support association or foundation.
Yes.
What exactly do you do?
Great. So, Accident Victim Support Foundation, we first and foremost we try to attend to the plight of the crash victims. So in this case, I will explain it this way. So when we are involved in an accident, you lose everything. You are taken to the hospital. First and foremost, you need to be given at least rapt attention because you didn't call for it. It's not like the normal diseases that come from home. This is probably you are traveling. It's an unplanned thing.
Right.
So you are taken to the hospital. The hospital must give you attention. So in this case, when there is a situation like this at the hospital, and we get to know, we go to the hospital, we sit down with the doctors or the hospital authorities to defray the cost, because most of the time bones or fractures, are so serious that they need serious surgery. And in Ghana, surgeries are most very serious that you cannot pay. And traveling, you don't even pay. That's why we talk about insurance a lot. I don't know when you have me on insurance. So that this time around, I'll come deeper on insurance so that we talk about it. So in a situation where you don't have the insurance, you need to be taken care of because of the accident. So we discuss, we talk about it, we try to defray the cost so that you'll be taken care of. We also we make sure you are being discharged in a way that you would be okay. You will come to near normal. We try to reintegrate you back into society. And we use your situation to now advocate on road safety best road safety practices. Because in fact, I am not in the crash, but the one we have attended to is in the crash and can tell us what had actually happened in the crash. So when we get that kind of information, we use it to make sure we caution drivers when they are driving.
So this is not as if it's a government-funded foundation.
It's now that we are pleading with government. We have never been funded by government, but the National Safety Authority previously, from the days of Engineer May Obri Yeboah, Engineer Adontin, we have been in collaboration, in partnership, working hand in hand. One of the moments that I can remember that Engineer Adontin and Engineer May did that made us to be recognized more was on the 14th of February in the days of Engineer May Obri Yeboah. If she's listening, let me say good morning. We do Valentine with crash victims because they have been neglected. If they were out there without the accident, they will be celebrating any kind of celebration that comes. So we try to make sure they also be a part of what is happening in the system. So we did it with Engineer May Obri Yeboah, and I remember very well, she went to Cape Coast with us and she was sharing the chocolate with crash victims. Well, one of them even have to share tears because that day was her birthday. And secondly, also Engineer Adontin also went with us to Nkoko, where we had 21 children dying, were involved. 5 of them died at the spot. We went to bury them. Engineer Adontin made sure that we went there. He made sure that I buried them and followed up with insurance for them. As I talk to you now, we are getting insurance for them. I can give you the scenarios, but these are the highlight ones that I can pinpoint that they did with us. I was also taken to Sweden. I was part of a team that went to Sweden with the National Road Safety Authority.
Okay.
Yes, where I went to learn more. In fact, I remember Engineer May, Engineer Adontin telling me that this is what you do, and we want to help you. So go to that area. And that's why this year, the Accident Victims Support Ghana, we're trying to build what we call the Accident Victims Home, where we are going to have
like a hostel?
No, shall I say a rehab center?
A rehab center,
yes,
right.
Specifically for crash victims, because all the victims that we are seeing, they are victims that have been rejected, neglected. They have never been given the concern, a holistic concern to the approach. And because most of them are vulnerable and poor, there is no attention at all to them. These are, let me say, injuries, serious injuries that need a particular, a profession to attend to them. And so we think that the way they have been left, we have a situation where the woman's leg is being rotten at the moment. Yes, due to the accident. And they are still going to court. So we have to go and intervene to change things. You understand? When such a person, I'll also talk about one journalist, one of you, who is also involved. She used to write about disabled. Now, because of accident, she herself is disabled. We'll be visiting her by next week. It's her birthday. It was her birthday on the 12th. But I was out of town. Now I'm in town. I want us to visit her. She was writing about disabled. Now she is paralyzed from waist down. She cannot move. That's the situation. That's how serious the accident issue is. We are yet to visit Mahama Care to attend to these issues because we don't have the know-how. The support is not there. You understand me? So we this year we are proposing that there should be the Accident Victims Home, which we have got the land.
Where is it located?
Got the plan. It will be located at Anyam. Yes, the smaller land. Area? Yes, the smaller land is at Anya, but the bigger land, which is 1 acre land, is at Fete. So we are going to one Fete, yes, just behind the Pentecost Church.
Right.
The Pentecost Convention Center.
Yeah.
Yes, we are going to put up that kind of facility there. So we are yet planning to this year do a fundraiser to bring everybody on board. Because listen, the way accident victims have been rejected and their issues not spoken about. And I've been the one fronting, and you don't have people even to support you. Look at those who got bent recently and sent to the hospital. I'm telling you, we are on TV, we are here now appealing, and not even one city will come into our mumu, or I will be called for it. That these people need to be helped. We meet corporate social responsibility heads that, look, let's sit down. We don't want money, but we want these people to have the food, to have one or two that can aid them to recover speedily. We don't even get it for them to come and sit down. It's a very pathetic issue. And that's why we are also centering on prevention. How do we prevent it so that we won't have a lot of people, 23% on injured victims.
Yeah.
Every year we have 15,000 injured victims every year. Every year. And so this year we are adding prayer, not this year, but every year we do the National All Drivers Prayer and Road Safety Summit.
All drivers.
All drivers. National All Drivers Prayer and Road Safety Summit. This year is coming up on the 25th at La Paz Demonstration. And our main speaker is Bishop Ajinasari, which I'm proud to say that he has accepted to be a part of the advocacy of the road carnages that is on our roads. He wants to add his voice. And I believe that the Archbishop Ajinasari is not just a figure in Ghana. He's one of the voices of the land.
Yeah, we are grateful for the voice, but monetary support is also important.
The Church of Pentecost have done so well to come to our aid, who help us to run around. But if all the churches, that's why I went to the GPCC conference that they did, Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council. I went there with my campaign, the Road Safety Pledge. And the General Secretary added their voice, including all the heads of churches and organizations that were there. And they said, Reverend, we are going to come on board. I believe that it's not going to be just talk, but it will be action. I believe in my Christendom. I believe in my Christian leaders. And this year I'm going into churches. I'm a pastor myself. I have a church. But
what the church?
Shazak Chapel International.
What?
Shazak Chapel International.
Shazak,
yes.
Shazak.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not doing Sunday service anymore. I'm going into the churches together with the pastors. Let's talk about it. The voices of the people are the voices of God. So when we advocate more, when we talk about a particular situation, a lot and more, I believe that there would be a turnaround and it would go a long way to reduce the crashes. I believe road safety sensitization, road safety advocacy is puppet wealthy. I hope if you understand me, it's puppet wealthy. We need to talk about it. It is not only for the media to talk about it, but the pastors who leads congregation.
In my church, it happens. I mean, sometimes once a month you get a professional either come and advise the church members. This time
we have these road crashes killing a lot of church people. So can you imagine? I go through the risk coming from my house. Let's say Kaswa.
Right.
I live at Millennium City, and my church is around Awushi. Look at the risk that I go through.
But somebody also
come to church.
Why would you want to? I mean, the other churches in the same
Ghanaians,
God you're worshiping. Why would you want to leave?
We are more Christian, if not more spiritual. More Christian.
Because my cousin lives somewhere around Agbeliza. Lives there, come all the way to Tantra Hill.
So look at such a person.
Why would you do that?
Do you now allow such a person to go through spiritual risk alone? No. You give the person road safety tips. Put on your seatbelt. Check your speed limit. Cross at designated places, at the zebra crossing especially. You understand? And that person, when going back and coming to church, will appreciate the risk that it is going through. Because many Christians and many Muslims die more than many traditional people. If I'm allowed to say that. You understand? And I think that...
We trade that. I didn't get it.
Many Christians and many Muslims die more than traditional people.
Why is that assertion? Is it just an off-head assertion, or is backed by
of course, when you look at yes, it's backed by what the people I encounter. So I encounter,
so like your personal data.
Yes, I encounter more Christians. I encounter quite a few of Muslim people, and I do not encounter traditional people at all. Because traditional people walk. They don't really go through buses.
I think they do the night shifts.
Not even the night, but the traditional leaders like Wulome and all that. They do the walking a lot and they go barefooted. But we Christians who are too materialistic, prosperity driven. We want to be driving the best cars, and we want to show that indeed we are enjoying the pleasures of life. And so most of the time we forget, we get the pleasures of life and we forget that speed kills. You understand me?
Yeah.
And so we go to the extent that we ride our beautiful cars on a very top speed for people to hear the sound of our car. And so we go late than to be called the late. You see, it's better for you to go late than to be called the late. But we go on a speed where we become the late instead of us becoming late. You understand? And these are Christian attitude. And so when the pulpit is being used, you look at a driver who is drinking. It's a Christian attitude. The Bible says we should not get too much drunk.
I think ever since the conversation about Okada drivers getting legalized and all of that, they've one way or the other tend to gain a certain level of impetus. Because maybe just yesterday, on my way going back home, a truck driver just crashed with a motorcycle, like a motor person. And if you look at the situation, you realize it was solely the fault of the motorbike rider. Because per his calculation, he thought he could be faster than the driver, the truck driver before he gets crashed. And so he miscalculated it and ended up getting crashed. You get it? And the blame game was to be swift.
I wouldn't go
what can we also do about these persons?
I love your earlier statement that they've gained impetus because there is a political twist to it. I wouldn't want to mention name, but some will ask that with Okada riders of accidents on our roads. One of them, when you meet traffic, you stop. And then you allow everyone also to stop. That is a very good attitude.
Right.
And that is a behavior. But I think that to a very long extent, to round up, the country must stand up. By the end of the month, the statistics will come out. I will want to encourage and admonish the National Road Safety Authority, as well as all Christian organizations and other transport organizations, that we all come on board and make sure we advocate on these road carnages so that we need the support of the country. We need the president or the government support to say, accident victim support, what can we do to help you? We currently do not have a car. We believe that if anyone is listening to us, I'm not ashamed to say that because people know what I do. If we have anybody who have any car to give to us, to go around to do this work and do it holistically, I believe that it will go a long way to aid.
Reverend Cyril Benedict Crab, we've been talking about everything concerning accidents, like you mentioned. Don't you go nowhere. Let's now take you to the Mamprobi Polyclinic, where a baby was stolen. And just a few minutes ago, my colleague Desmond Okrokodaso
by the Danceman Divisional Command. Now, this briefing intends to provide the facts of the case, the actions taken by the police so far, and important safety measures for the public. The Danceman Divisional Police Command of the Ghana Police Service has arrested suspect Latifa Salifu in connection with the stealing of a 4-day-old baby boy from the postnatal ward of Mamprobi Hospital here in Accra. The arrest follows swift police that an unidentified woman disguised as a nurse and had stolen a newborn baby from the hospital's postnatal ward. The baby's mother, Precious Ankoma, informed the police that she delivered the baby boy on the 14th of February 2026. She stated of administering medication and disappeared thereafter. Suspect claimed that she had delivered at the hospital and were taking measures. We expect that for hospital immediately. Meanwhile, this morning, at the time of the incident and at the time of the arrest, the Minister for Gender and Children and South, including the region, investigations are ongoing and further updates will be communicated.
Yes. Disguised as a nurse.
Exactly.
Allegedly leaving the hospital with the baby. And
also chanced on. We are putting all of these materials together, and that's why at the end of the briefing we say that investigations are ongoing. These facts are preliminary facts that are being shared with you. Investigations ongoing be shared with you as well.
We have some nurses.
If in the process of investigation we come across something like that, why not? We'll come back to give you an update.
But currently, she's the only suspect.
As we speak, she's the only suspect. Do the reunion, and after that, go back to the hospital to make sure that baby is safe and is medically well.
So it's true. She has been identified.
Yes, she has. The baby has been identified and reunited with the mother. Any other questions? Thank you very much. Very grateful.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. San.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Ampedu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rosic Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
We are changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the bliss. Oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Puma Drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
Osmolelo.
Me to enjoy me kenta wo.
To enjoy. Ye na ka shiane. Shiane mo fun yo mi.
Every Thursday morning, the spirit of the school come alive. From the marching bands to the dining halls, the fear and the panic stories, the convoys to old students' pride, to unforgettable homecoming moments. Metro TV brings you the school's homecoming show live. Relive the glory, celebrate the legacies, reconnect with the memories that shape legends like you. The celebrations, the anniversaries, the homecoming activities, and the legacy projects that you embark in your school. The Metro TV School's Homecoming Show comes to you every Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. live on Metro TV. This is the School's Homecoming Show live on Metro TV.
And we are back on your screens. This is Good Afternoon Ghana here on Metro TV. I am Bryce Nanakwasiamanin, and my next discussion is cooked and ready to be served. Now, Ghana's maiden edition of the Leadership Summit under the auspices of the Global Leadership Group, JLG, is set to take place at the British Council come Friday, 20th February 2026, to throw some light on the need for ethical leadership as Ghana seeks sustainable economic growth, The Global Leadership Group is putting this event together with seasoned speakers from academia and industry. Ahead of the event, we are joined in studio by 3 persons, Global Leadership Group Country Manager Francis Mensah King, a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana who doubles as the chairman of the Summit Committee, Professor Kofi Menu, and Director of Human Resources at JLJ, Happy Anoche, in here in the studio, and I'm gladly saying welcome to the studios.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I like your name, Happy.
Thank you.
I can see that that's why you were smiling when you entered the studio.
Yes.
Thank you. And Prof, welcome to our studios. I'm finding a very nice way to welcome him, because I've been threatened behind the scenes, but thank you so much for joining us. We are grateful.
Thank you, my boss.
First of all, tell us a bit about Global Leadership Group. Let me speak to you about that, Prof. Forgive me, but we'll be grateful if you can come a bit closer to the mic. Yes.
How we can grow.
And press the button there. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Is it good?
It's good.
All right. So the Global Leadership Group is an international organization, not only in Ghana, but we find ourselves in other parts of Africa and also Europe and America. So the intent of this group is to grow leaders who are ethical in modern parlance. So we bring moral plus leadership together to ensure that we are not just building leaders for organizations, but we are building ethical leaders who suit our current challenges and problems.
Right.
You know, we have transitioned from different forms of leadership, but at Global Leadership Group, we believe that we need to grow more ethical leaders, leaders who are more responsible, leaders who are more focused, and leaders who are more oriented towards modern ways of doing things. So that's simply what we do as a group.
Let me speak to you, Francis. This is the first of its kind here in Ghana, right?
Yes, it is.
Why is it important for such a leadership conference to be held?
Thank you. The importance of having this summit is to us. We are into growing leaders, competent leaders, ethical leaders, moral leaders. In this day and age of AI and technology, it's good to have conscientized effort to train or direct attention to harnessing the potentials of our incoming leaders, so that our future is assured, and we are certain the kind of end product, if I should put it, that our leaders are going to have to take over from us or to the next generation. So it is vital to have this summit to, one, sensitize, to train, and to equip our future generation, and re-echo the need to have ethical skills in leadership management. Thank you.
Let me now speak to Happy Anoche, who I'm happy about her name. Now, being director of HR, will you be leading a conversation on building high-performing teams in companies? I mean, because it's difficult sometimes. We find ourselves in groups. You know, people have their own ideologies and how they want to have things done their way. So it's even difficult having a very good working team together. As HR, what conversation should we be having about things like this?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone watching us. So building high-performing teams, so we can add high-performing teams and even leaders, you know. So, you know, a lot of times, companies do things somehow, anyhow, you know. Somehow, anyhow, yes, I'll explain that. So before you set up anything, or company or business or a department or something, you should have the purpose that you are seeking to achieve. You have that purpose clearly spelled out. Then by that, you know the kind of people or the caliber of employees or leaders who can run that expectation, who can make sure that goal is achieved. So when you clearly have that one spelled out too, then you do advert, you actually search for, the various candidates according to what you want, sieving through. So when you get the right ones, then you put the teams together, looking at their abilities, their skills. You even modern HR, you even have to look at people's temperaments, because sometimes the team is okay, but the leader's temperament doesn't fit.
Doesn't match.
Yeah, so it doesn't help for the team to, perform. They will underperform. But then if you had done things properly, then you achieve what you want. So it's very important that it is looked at that way. So to add to it, these are one of the reasons why we have Global Leadership Group, and even on free basis we have monthly leadership talk shows, free, very free. We air once in a month. We look for creme de la creme resource persons to give lectures on that, building teams, because in our local language in Ghana, if the head is bad, the whole fish will be bad, So that's one of the things we believe in. So we believe in training those who are the leaders. We know some are born leaders, some learn it, that what I mean. So we believe in training them. When they are okay, then building the team to arrive at his expectation is very simple. Yeah.
Let me speak to Prof. Prof, this may be quite an interesting question for him to ask, but I'm going to ask you anyways. So we are supposed to have very sensible leaders, right?
Yeah.
Is that always the case? And where do we get it wrong from selecting leaders who don't fit? It's like putting round, shaped whatever into other
square pegs.
Yeah, square pegs.
Yeah.
Which could be a bit disturbing. How do we get there? How do we deal with it?
I think if we take time in selecting our leaders, there are a lot of qualities we have to look for, and every role and the kind of leader you need to put there. There are some roles that you need to put leaders who are more democratic. There are some roles you need to put leaders who are more autocratic. There are other roles that you need to put people who are laissez-faire. So it depends on the role and the kind of leadership you want to put in. Or you also want to look at the kind of job and what you want to achieve. And then you look for the right leader to put there. Over the years, we have been selecting leaders based on several factors.
Okay.
People, even organizations, are now tuned up to leaders by who has what. You understand? So the money bit is influencing who becomes a leader, and that is transcended across all our fabric. Whether political or organizational, we see that we do not pay more attention to what the leader will do. But we are more interested in who becomes a leader. And when you do that, then of course, anyone at all can become a leader. But trust me, it is not everyone who can be a leader. That is why even if everyone could be a leader, then we need to train, prepare you, provide you the needed ways to become a leader, grow you, and then you can learn the skills of leading. Because leading is not just for anyone. Do you understand? And therefore, we would not have to allow certain factors like finances, like fame, like influence. Those things, when we bring them into selection of leaders, then of course, we are bound to fail. And that's where we would be putting the wrong people at the wrong places. And then once we do that, we are bound to fail.
My very good friend Francis will be speaking, and I'm dying to know what he was talking about. He was talking about ways by which Ghana can have proper growth, right? Strategies of good growth here in the country. Francis?
Yes, I will.
Give me a peek into that.
So, as you rightly said, how to put good growth, if I should put it, ethical growth. We all are into the, I should say, the working force. And we see these school graduates and things who come in for service, attachment and all that. And if we'll be truthful to ourselves, some of them, their working ethics it's neither here or there. It needs a lot of work. And these are the same people that are going to obtain and attain leadership positions in the organizations and in the country.
Right.
There are some, you even give them things to do. You are even trying to communicate with them, and it's a problem. It's like, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing. And it's scary at times because you ask yourself, are these the kind of people who are going to fill my place, who are going to sit in my chair tomorrow when I'm not here? What kind of leaders are we breeding? We need to have the right mindset, the right attitude, okay, the right approach. My colleagues have spoken about temperament, about attitude and all that. It all boils down into the shaping of a leader or shaping of one to be a leader. You just don't get up and because you think you qualify through academics or through marks or grades, you are fit to be in the position of a leader. No, it takes more than that. So we need to dive into all the things that goes into making someone a credible leader, a trusted leader, a legitimate leader, an ethical leader, someone your people can rightly follow, someone you know consciously that you are in control, you are leading. These things are very much missing in our upcoming leaders, and I think it needs to be worked on. So we'll be addressing these and more at the summit coming this Friday, and I hope I'll see you there too.
Yeah, you come. I mean, we're all trying to. I know definitely people. One way or the other, we all have ambitions. Definitely. So such seminars are quite, a must attend. But if I'm coming, if I'm going to attend, before I even come to that question, let me speak to Happy here because she's an HR person, so she might understand this. Sometimes subordinates don't like to be micromanaged. It's like give me a work and every single second you are calling me to find out what is happening. Yeah. Have you called this person? Can you just allow me to work and bring the results and not micromanage me? Such leaders, how can we deal with them?
Yeah, it's something that is very important. This person is very important because of late, we have a different, let me use the word, breed of employees that fall in the category of Gen Zs.
Right.
If you get me, They don't like being micromanaged at all.
At all.
At all, at all.
They hate correction, they hate almost everything.
They hate correction, they hate everything. So you have to have your own ways of going about it. So as a leader, if you're a leader, in the past years, you have to learn these new ways of, handling or managing or leading this new generation. So you don't need to micromanage. I personally don't think micromanaging is the best because you need to give the employee or your team members opportunity to grow. So you just give them the training. For example, like this opportunity we are providing at the GLG, okay? So they learn, and then you give them guidelines, and then you watch them. So that will make them do their own research, do their own comparisons. For example, coming to our program, our summits, there will be opportunity for networking among peers, among professional top industry.
I was about to ask you what I'm going to be getting if I should attend. What am I getting on the site?
Yes. So you're going to network with top industries, leaders, professionals who are coming with the understanding that we have invited even students and just completed school, candidates who have just completed school. So it's going to be a mixture. We have top, mid, and then, the new entry. So everyone is coming with an understanding that you have opportunity to network. You network for present business, you network for future, so that in case whatever industry you find yourself, if you need industry advice, there are gurus that you have networked with at this leadership summit, there will be business opportunities, of course. That's one of the reasons for networking. So there's so much to get. You have opportunity to ask questions and interact freely. You get me? So I think this is...
right. Let me speak to Prof to give me more. I mean, as a professional, if I'm coming to this summit, what should I be expecting? Your mic is off again, please. Thank you.
Individuals who are more transparent, and then those who also will have that understanding of building accountability in whatever they do. So we're going to look at transparency and accountability in economic decision making. And we all make decisions, but sometimes the manner in which we go about our decision making do not help us. We're also going to speak on issues of long-term resilience through ethical risk management. We want to grow ethical leaders, but trust me, it is not just a short-term or a one-day ethics leaders that we want to grow, but individuals who have that kind of strength to go through the long haul. Because if you do not take care in leadership, there are so many things that come your way. Many things come your way. Sometimes people will bring some kind of things that appeals to you to make decisions, either their way or in favor of others. So if you have that sense of accountability, I believe it will help. And that is what we want to see leaders in Ghana exhibit: more transparent, more accountable. And of course, once we want to be accountable, then you have to know the kind of risks that associate to the kind of decisions that you are going to make. So we're also going to talk through those kind of things. And we'll have some panel discussions as well,
right,
which of course will open more avenue for individuals to be part of the process, because it's not about coming to sit down to listen, but you also have the opportunity to bring to the table what you believe in 21st century, what ethical leaders must do, or what the moral managers, as we may call them, are expected to do. So yes, among these panel discussions, among these talks and other things, we believe that individuals will have their share. So we learn from each other, like the pipeline that Happy put forth. From the early to mid to senior professionals, we would have that opportunity to interact, and then we will discuss what we need to do as Ghanaians when it comes to ethical leadership. Because we are transitioning from different forms. Where we are, we need to really grow persons who are ethical, people whose moral standards can be vouched for. So when we put these leaders at different positions, we can sleep, but sometimes we are not too sure of ourselves. From governance levels to school management levels to work environments, leaders are the problem. And therefore, if we're able to grow right leaders, our society will be the best place.
There's a video from, is it called Tommy Olumelu or something, the CEO for one of the banks in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Where he says, we talk too much as humans.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that video. We talk too much as humans.
Yeah.
I mean, when you are seated behind,
you
feel like you can do all the work.
Everything.
But once you're given the nod, they
see that
realize it's a whole different ballgame altogether.
Sure.
But then, coming to this event, what type of professionals are we expecting to see there? Or is it just limited to a certain group of people?
Okay, so as part of or aside our high delegation panel, as my fellow colleague Happy and Prof said, we'll be having the pipeline. We have the very high-end, in the industry, we have mid-level, we have students, we have graduates, we have even high school students coming. So it's like it gives opportunity for you to learn. She made a point like people don't want to be micromanaged.
Yeah.
There's a process of learning. Process of learning doesn't include always getting it right. No. But you need to be very much assertive on how you handle such people. Because the so-called Gen Zs and all that, if you don't handle them properly, some will call back. With that, you will not be able to properly, transcend information to them. And at the end of the day, after a long period, they will be with you, but they wouldn't have learned much. They wouldn't have gained much. They'll just be there, and they leave and go, and they can't really do much. They can't speak much about it. And it's all tarnishes your image as a leader. So you need to look at some of these things. We would have high-end people like Mr. Olufemi Moreno.
Okay.
He's a guest speaker. He's a very high-end executive director. He's currently the executive director for Inlax Global, which is a high-end IT company. They are into IT software implementation, specifically for banks and other financial institutions. And he's been the executive director for a long time now. He's been in the industry for over 21 years. So these are the kind of people that are coming. We have Happy Anoche. Happy Anoche is also a very high-end motivational speaker.
I can tell.
Yes, yes, she is. She has a vast knowledge, as you can see. Prof here, it's also on a different level. Currently working on some projects, both for the government and for other big institutions. So we are trying to get together all the top-notch, all the top-notch that matter in the society in this AI world to help drive the youth, to help drive the middle class, to help hold the hands of those coming, such that after you're done with this talk show, you will take away something. Not only come to sit down to read and listen to us talk, no, but you will network, you will get good ideas, you make good contact, you'll be able to gain some knowledge in managing yourself, managing people, and being a good leader.
Right. Thank you so much. Forgive me. We have to go. But a quick one. Let me come back again to you and give you the final word. Francis, in just 30 seconds, tell me why I should be there. The date, the venue, and try and entice me to be there. I mean, pitch to me. Just 30 seconds.
To start with, you're already there. Don't worry about that. The date is on the Friday 20th, which is a day after tomorrow,
right,
at the British Council, Accra, opposite the City House. The time is 9 a.m.
Is it free?
It's free.
Okay.
It's absolutely free. Our target is mainly student and middle class.
Right.
It's absolutely free.
Right.
And we have all these seasonal leaders who are coming in to help enrich. We are taking care of the expenses ourselves. Come and listen to knowledge. Come and grow yourself. And I'm sure you will be a good...
Your life will never be the same. Like they say in the church.
You are in the spirit, brother. You are in the spirit, brother. I like that.
Thank you so much.
To that.
So I'll be here with Global Leadership Group and its country manager, Francis Mensah King, senior lecturer at the University of Ghana, who doubles as chairman of the Summit Committee, Professor Kofi Menu, and director of HR at JLJ Happy Anochiman, personal favorites. So we'll see you there at the program. But let's cross over to the headquarters of the NPP, where there's a presser going on. I've seen the face of Justin Kodia, who is there as well, and also the National Director of Communications, Richard Ahiagba, who are all there, including a number of the party executives. What is happening there? Let's take a look. I am Bright Nakweshemini, and this has been Good Afternoon, Ghana. Bye.
And the National Council meeting, I want to use this opportunity on behalf of our party, on behalf of the National Executive Committee and National Council, to congratulate His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia for emerging as our flag bearer for the 2028 elections. Today marks the first day of fasting for our Muslim brothers and sisters. And I take this opportunity to wish them Ramadan Karim, and also for Christians, more particularly we Catholics are also starting our fasting today. I also take this opportunity to wish our Christian brothers good luck, and may God be with all of us in this fasting period. As I indicated to you earlier on, NEC, which happens to be the third high decision-making body of the New Patriotic Party, received some recommendations from the steering committee and approved of the recommendations and forwarded same to National Council. At National Council, the recommendations were based on the timelines for the New Patriotic Party, internal elections, and the guidelines. Without wasting much time, I'll proceed to announce to the general public, the rank and file of our party, the timelines for the New Patriotic Party internal elections. The party begins our internal elections with the continuation of registration of members. If you all recall, somewhere in November 2025, I issued a memo to the constituency and regional party respectively to start our party registration at the various polling stations and further to organize polling station meetings. So we are continuing with that process. And that process starts from 1st of March to 31st March 2026. That will be registration of members. Then data entry of members who have been registered shall be between 1st April to 10th April 2026. After data entry will be verification of registered members. That will be from 14th to 16th of April 2026. Once this exercise is completed, the party will kickstart our internal elections. It starts with opening and closing of nominations for polling station elections, which shall be between 20th to 24th April 2026. Vetting for polling station aspirants will be from 25th to 30th April 2026. Appeals will be from 1st to 4th May 2026. The notice of poll will be from 6th to 9th of May 2026. Station executives will be from 10th to 16th May 2026. Then data entry and validation of polling station executive album will be from 17th to 21st May 2026. When we are done with the polling station elections, we will move straight to electoral area executive committee elections. Open and closing of nominations for electoral area elections shall be from 23rd to 25th of May 2026. The vetting will be from 26th to 31st May 2026. Then appeals will be received from 1st to 4th June 2026. Notice of poll will be from 5th to 8th June 2026. Elections of our electoral area executives will be from 10th to 15th June 2026. Then data entry and validation of electoral area executives will be from 16th to 20th June 2026. In all these activities, the responsible office for all these activities will be the Constituency Executive Committee and the Regional Steering Committee, with oversight responsibility by the National Secretariat. For Constituency Executive Committee elections, open and closing of nominations shall be from 22nd to 24th of June 2026. Vetting 2026. Appeals shall be received from 28th to 30th June 2026. Then notice of polls will be from 2nd to 5th July 2026. Elections of constituency officers shall be from 11th to 12th July 2026. Then data entry and validation of constituency executive album will be from 13th to 26th July 2026. Then we move on to chapter and external branch elections. For MPP, when we speak of chapter and external branch, it refers to our diaspora party, our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora. For chapter elections, opening, closing of nominations, vetting, appeals, elections, data entry, and validation of album is expected to take place within this period, 20th June to 19th July 2026. Branch elections shall be between branch opening and closing of nominations, and vetting, appeals, data entry and validation of albums shall be from 15 July to 9th August. 15 July to 9th August 2026. It's expected that opening, closing of nominations, vetting, appeals, elections, data entry and validation of the diaspora album would have been completed. Then we proceed to regional executive committee elections. Opening and closing of nominations for regional executive elections shall be from 15 to 17 July 2026. The vetting shall be from 20th to 23rd July 2026. Appeals shall be from 24th to 26th July 2026. The notice of poll shall be from 27th to 30th July 2026. The elections of regional executive officers shall be from 8th to 9th August 2026. Then data entry and validation of regional executive album shall be from 10th to 23rd August 2026. Now to the matter of all elections, national elections. National executive elections are as follows, the processes and the procedures. Opening and closing of nominations shall be from 10th to 14th of August. Filing of nominations shall be from 15th to 17th August. Vetting of aspirants shall be from 20th to 23rd of August 2026. Release of vetting report shall be on the 25th of August. Appeals shall be taken from 28th to 29th of August. Then the elections shall be held between 18th to 20th of September 2026. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the timelines for the party's internal elections. Because of these timelines, National Council took notice of the fact that the tenure of office of some officers would expire in the course of these elections or before these elections. And therefore, by the power vested in National Council, it is established as follows. That polling station executive tenure has been extended from 5th March to 16th May 2026. Electoral area coordinators has been extended from 20th March to 15th June 2026. Constituency executive tenure has also been extended from 24th April to 12th July 2026. Chapter executive tenure has been extended from 24th April to 19th July. Branch executives, which I mean are diaspora branch, not the other branch. And I know the other branch. We are talking about MPP diaspora branch. From 22nd May 2026 to 9th August 2026, regional executives from 22nd May to 9th August 2026, the national executives from 16th July to 20th September 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, with this done, I have to take you through the guidelines for our internal elections. And this will take time, so I plead with you to exercise patience whilst I take you through the guidelines for our internal elections 2026. These rules and regulations governing the conduct of the party's internal elections are made pursuant to Article 18 and other relevant provisions of the Constitution of the New Patriotic Party as amended, which vests the National Council with the authority to prescribe guidelines for the effective administration and operation of the party at all levels. Guided by the findings and recommendations of Okwe Elections Review Committee on the party's 2024 electoral performance, especially concerns about the delegate system and organizational structure, the party has resolved to undertake comprehensive reforms to strengthen its internal democratic processes. Determined to entrench discipline, orderliness, transparency, and fairness in the conduct of internal elections, these rules and regulations affirm the party's enduring commitment to democratic values, credible competition, and equal opportunity for all aspirants, while decisively addressing the shortcomings that have characterized previous internal electoral processes. The party recognizes the necessity to rebuild, reorganize, and reposition through credible and merit-based elections of dedicated, competent, and principled officers to manage its affairs at all levels. The objective being to secure victory in the 2028 general elections. And the party is cognizant of the decisive steps taken in its rebuilding agenda by electing its presidential candidate for the 2028 general elections. Therefore, it finds it imperative to proceed deliberately and strategically in establishing robust, coherent, and sustainable structures for the elections of party officers from polling stations level through the electoral area, constituency, and external branches to the regional and national levels. Now, therefore, the New Patriotic Party at its meeting of the NEC and National Council, hereby enact and adopt these rules and regulations for the conduct of the party's internal elections at all levels of the party. Registration of members. The National Executive Committee and the National Council of the New Patriotic Party has directed that prior to the commencement of the party internal elections, for the elections of party executives from polling station level to the national level, a comprehensive registration of party members shall be undertaken, which are stated in the timelines. Accordingly, the period from 1st to 31st March 2026 has been designated for this critical exercise. This registration exercise constitutes a fundamental pillar of the party's internal electoral process and is intended to ensure accuracy, credibility, and integrity in the conduct of the forthcoming elections. Pursuant to Article 3 of the NPP Constitution as amended, the registration of members shall be conducted at respective polling stations where members ordinarily cast their ballot during national elections. To facilitate this exercise, the party shall dispatch official membership register to all polling stations, and those who already have the register are supposed to continue with the register. These registers shall be made available at designated venues during polling station meetings, where members are required to personally record their names and relevant details. The key word is the registration can only take place at polling station meetings. So nobody can sit in his home or a home or compile this place. This place is compiled at polling station meetings. When there is no polling station meeting, the registration cannot also party monitor to make sure the right thing is done. All party members are therefore strongly urged to proceed to their respective polling stations within the stipulated period to have their names fully captured in the polling station membership register. For the avoidance of doubt, only members whose details are entered into the official membership register at the polling station shall be eligible to vote or to contest participate. Shall automatically disqualify a member from voting or contesting in the party's internal elections. This registration exercise is mandatory and indispensable to the successful conduct of the party's internal democratic process. So what it means is that even if you have party card, you still have to go to your polling stations to take part in the registration exercise. Without that, you cannot take part in the polling station elections. And as General Secretary, as a registered member of the party, I will go to my polling station to register so that I can take part in the voting exercise at my polling station. The Constituency Secretariat, comprising the Constituency Secretary, Constituency Organizer, Deputy Secretary, Research and Elections Officer, and IT Officer, shall, under the supervision of the respective Constituency Executive Committee, key in the details of all polling station members into the party's membership management system. But where we have a sitting member of parliament, the sitting member of parliament shall nominate a representative to be part of the data entry team. Polling stations meetings, as I indicated. All polling stations meetings are supposed to happen within the month of March, and at least every polling station is supposed to have one meeting every week. At least in the course of the week, you are supposed to have one meeting. Every registered party member is required to at least one of such meetings at his or her respective polling station. Where polling stations are organized in clusters, joint meetings may be held for the purposes of coordination and efficiency. Notwithstanding this arrangement, each polling station shall maintain a separate membership register and records, which must not, under any circumstances, be merged with those of another polling station. You agree with me that in some places you have one center having multiple polling centers. polling station A, polling station B, but they are all in one center. So to organize polling station meetings, it will be difficult to have one polling station meeting from the other because they are all found in one place. So it is allowed for those polling stations in that center, what we refer to as cluster, to hold one polling station. But in so doing, at the point of registration, they must take the voter's ID card to register each member in their polling station register. And that is very important. Venues and times for all polling station meetings within each constituency shall and officially be published by the Constituency Executive Committee before the start of the registration. So before 1st of March, it's the duty of the Constituency Executive Committee to furnish National Party with the list of the venue and times of all polling station meetings in their respective constituencies. It is important that as a party, before one is able to take part in our elections, the person must be a member of good standing. And therefore, payment of dues is very important and crucial to our parties. So members who want to pay their dues are advised to go through the following means. You can dial *920 *270 hash on all networks. *920 *270 hash on all networks to pay your membership dues, or you can also do same on the NPP mobile app. Attendance at every polling station shall be properly recorded, and all members present shall sign or thumbprint at the attendance register accordingly. Now to the rules and regulations for polling station elections. Ladies and gentlemen, the polling station elections shall be supervised by a representative appointed by the Regional Steering Committee and the Constituency Executive Committee. The representative from the Regional Steering Committee shall be the chairperson for the polling station elections supervision committee. The National Secretariat shall have oversight responsibility over the conduct of the polling station elections at each constituency. Polling station elections shall be conducted by a 3-member polling station elections committee across the constituency within the scheduled time or scheduled dates. So what it means is that once the regional representative and the constituency executive committee meet, they are supposed to form the polling station elections committee. They are the ones who are supposed to conduct the elections, while the regional and the constituency executive committee will provide the supervisory role. They are supposed to supervise the elections. The polling station election committee for each constituency, as I indicated, shall be appointed by the constituency executive committee and the regional steering committee, provided that those who are supposed to be members of the polling station election committee must be those who reside in the constituency and vote in the constituency. In constituencies where the party has a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate one representative out of the 3-member polling station elections committee. So let's take note of it. Let's take note of it. Where we have a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate one representative out of the 3-member polling station elections committee. The Constituency Executive Committee shall furnish the Regional Steering Committee and the National Secretariat with the list of the polling station elections committee at least 1 week before the opening of nomination for polling station elections. As we have indicated, polling station elections, we will open nominations. Before we open the nominations, those who are going to conduct the polling station elections, who are to be appointed by the Constituency Executive Committee, that list should be furnished by the committee to the National Secretariat even before we open nominations. In selecting the members of the polling station elections committee, the criteria shall be that 1, a person can be a senior party member, former party executive, former MMDC, former member of parliament, former parliamentary candidate, serving or former assembly member, or former government appointees, and an opinion leader in the constituency. These are the area or the pool from which the Constituency Elections Supervisory Committee can appoint the members of the polling station election committee from. Again, all polling station elections committee shall not conduct more than 10 polling station elections without the prior approval of the National Secretariat. So what it means is that those 3-member committee that has been appointed as polling station elections committee, they can only conduct elections for 10 polling stations, only 10 polling stations. Outside the 10, they have to get clearance from the National Secretariat. Most importantly also, members of the polling station elections committee shall not be eligible to contest in the polling station elections, electoral area, or constituency executive committee elections. What it means is that if you harbor any interest to become a polling station executive, electoral area executive, or constituency officer, you cannot directly be part of this exercise. You cannot be a member of the polling station elections committee, because once you have an interest, you cannot be part of this committee. We don't want any interest in this process. The polling station elections committee shall adopt the venue for polling station meetings as venue for the conduct of the polling station elections within the time frame approved by the National Council. What it means is that the polling station elections committee are supposed to conduct the polling station elections at the venue where the polling station meetings are held. So therefore, you cannot choose a different venue. You cannot use someone's house, you cannot use someone's place to do the polling station elections, or let that place the venue for the polling station meeting. All this is important to ensure that there is credibility and transparency in the conduct of the polling station elections. Then the venue and dates for the polling station elections must be widely published by the polling station election committee at least 4 days to the scheduled date for the elections. So if there's going to be a polling station, the notice must be given at least 4 days before the polling station elections are conducted. And voting shall be conducted between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Again, it is important that the polling station election committee, for them to conduct any polling station elections, they can only do so within the hours of 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The voting shall be by ballot or head count where there are 2 or more aspirants, and by acclamation where there is only 1 aspirant. Again, the nomination fee, anyone who wants to contest at the polling station election shall pay 10 Ghana cedis. 10 Ghana cedis for the forms. Therefore, you know, we are very considerate and we understand the hardship that Ghanaians are going through. So at least we need to sympathize with those who are aspiring to contest for positions. Another important point that we need to also take note of is that nomination forms can be or shall be acquired from the polling station elections committee or at the constituency secretariat at the cost of 10 cedis, as I indicated. The forms can also be downloaded from the party's website, www.newpatrioticparty.org, where an aspiring polling station executive downloads the forms from the website. He or she shall pay the required 10 cedis at the to the polling station elections committee upon submission of the completed form. And where an aspiring aspirant is unable or is denied the opportunity to file his nomination or her nomination at the polling station elections committee, he or she may, through a petition, file his nomination at the constituency, regional, or national secretariat. An aspiring polling station executive shall be nominated by 1 person and seconded by 2 registered members of the party, all of whom shall be party members in good standing at the polling station. So therefore, if you want to contest for any position at the polling station, you have to be nominated by 1 person and seconded by 2 registered members at the polling station whose names are in the register. The polling station elections committee shall receive the completed nomination form from each aspiring polling station executive. The polling station elections committee again shall be responsible for vetting all aspiring polling station executives in the polling stations. Furthermore, each polling station executive committee shall provide the notice of poll, which shall be made available at least 4 days to the date of the elections. Appeals by a person aggrieved with the decision of the polling station elections committee shall be submitted to the constituency executive committee. The constituency executive committee shall within 48 hours hear the appeal and make determination. Where a petitioner is dissatisfied with the decision of the constituency executive committee, such person shall refer it to the regional steering committee and their decision shall be final. For qualification and eligibility, a person who wishes to contest in our polling station elections must be one, a registered member of the MPP. If you are not a registered member, you can certainly not contest to become a polling station executive. That one is fair. Then you must be a member in good standing. That means you must have paid your membership dues in full. For MPP, you can even pay 2 cedis a month as a membership dues. We are a party that's very considerate. So the whole year is 24 cedis. So you must make sure that you have paid your dues before you can contest. Also importantly, to be able to become a polling station executive or to be able to contest, you must reside at the electoral area where the polling station is located and vote at the polling station. This point is also very important. We don't want a situation whereby someone does not reside in the electoral area but wants to become a polling station executive. It is not allowed in these internal elections. You must reside in the electoral area before you can contest for a polling station position, and you must vote at that polling station you intend to contest. Then you must also demonstrate you're a registered voter with the Electoral Commission of Ghana. So it is only those who are registered voters who can become executives at the polling station. Then you must not have forfeited your membership, which means that in the 2024 elections, you shouldn't have supported a different candidate or party aside the New Patriotic Party. If you did, then you are disqualified from contesting for position at the polling station. In the case of an applicant for any of the organizational ring, polling station organizer, youth organizer, women organizer, the person must demonstrate strong fitness, vibrance, and agility. You must demonstrate that indeed you can do the job in the organizational ring. In the case of an applicant for polling station secretary and electoral affairs officer, the applicant must at least possess senior high school qualification. In the case of an applicant for polling station youth organizer, you must not have attained more than 40 years. It is the duty of the polling station executive, it's the duty of an aspiring polling station executive to satisfy the polling station elections committee that he or she has met all the above qualification and eligibility requirements. Ladies and gentlemen, we are painstakingly going through this process because we want to have a credible elections. We want to have a transparent elections. So that at the end of the day, just as how we were able to peacefully and successfully conduct the presidential primary, that Ghanaians are giving us commendation, we will see the same commendation in our polling station election. That's why we are very particular. We've come out with these watertight guidelines so that we all know what we are supposed to do in the process leading to the elections. Persons entitled to vote. Persons who are qualified to vote in the polling station elections shall be party members whose names are captured in the polling station register and have paid their dues for at least 1 year before the election. So what it means is that if you want to vote in the polling station elections, at least your name must be registered in the party's register and you must have paid your dues at least 1 year. So if General Secretary wants to go and vote at my polling station, Krabi Asqua, then I must make sure that my name is in the polling station register, and I must have paid my dues at least 1 year before I can vote in the polling station elections. For identification purposes, voters shall use their party membership card or the National Party dues booklet, but where same is unavailable, any national ID will be admitted for the purpose of voting. Then after all this has been done, the election has taken place, we know we have our executives at the polling station, we need to capture their information. The group or the team that are supposed to do this work is headed by the constituency secretary, assisted by the deputy secretary, research and elections officer, and the constituency IT officer. In collaboration with the polling station election committee, shall key in the details of all elected polling station executives into an electronic system that the party has developed and will be made available to various constituencies. In constituencies where the party has a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate a representative to be part of the data entry team. The said details shall be verified by the constituency executive committee and validated by the regional steering committee. We have been talking about polling stations. So which positions are people supposed to contest? The positions for the polling stations are polling station chairperson, polling station secretary, polling station organizer, polling station women organizer, polling station youth organizer, polling station electoral affairs officer, and polling station communications officer. 7 positions. So if any of you here is a known party person, a registered MPP member, these are the positions, and you can equally contest when you open nominations. Then we come to electoral area. For electoral area elections, it shall be supervised by the constituency executive committee and the regional steering committee. The national secretariat shall have oversight responsibility over the conduct of the electoral area elections in each constituency. The electoral area elections shall be conducted by 3-member electoral area elections committees constituted as follows: 1 representative appointed by the regional steering committee, who shall be the chairpersons of the committee. Then 2 members appointed by the constituency executive committee. In constituencies where the party has a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate 1 out of the 2 representatives. An electoral area elections committee shall not conduct more than 5 electoral area elections. That is, the committee that will conduct the electoral area elections, they can only conduct 5 electoral areas. And if they want to do more, they need to get an explicit approval from the National Secretariat. No member of the electoral area elections committee shall be eligible to contest in the electoral area elections and or the constituency executive elections. So therefore, insofar as you are a member of the electoral area elections committee, you are stopped from contesting electoral area elections or constituency elections. Polling station officers are eligible to contest in the electoral area executive elections without being required to resign from their positions. In the past, before one can contest electoral area elections, if you were polling station executive, you needed to resign. By this time around, I don't need to resign. You can go and contest. When you win, then your position becomes vacant, then you'll be replaced. But when you don't win, then you go back and assume your position as polling station executive. The electoral area committee, the electoral area elections committee shall determine the venue and dates for the conduct of the electoral area elections within the time frame approved by the National Council. The notice of poll shall be made available to each electoral area at least 4 days to the date of the elections, and voting shall take place within the hours of 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's important that we take note of that we cannot hold electoral area elections outside these stipulated times between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. And voting shall be by ballot or head count where there are 2 or more aspirants, and by acclamation where there is only 1 aspirant. Nomination fees or nomination forms can be purchased at the cost of 50 cedis. So if you want to become an electoral area executive, once you pick your nomination forms, when you are submitting, they pay 50 cedis. Likewise, as I indicated in the constituency, the polling station elections, you can purchase the form from our website, which I've stated supra, at the cost of 50 cedis, and you must submit the forms together with 50 cedis when you appear before the committee, the elections committee. An aspiring electoral area executive shall be nominated by one person and seconded by 3 registered members of the party, all of whom shall be in good standing and party members at that particular electoral area. For appeals, anyone who is dissatisfied with the work or any aspirant who is dissatisfied with the work of the electoral area elections committee can appeal to the constituency executive committee. And it is the duty of the constituency executive committee to, within 48 hours, hear the appeal and make determination. Where a person is dissatisfied, an aspiring electoral area executive is dissatisfied, he has the right to appeal to the regional steering committee and further appeal to the national secretariat. Qualification and eligibility. To be able to contest for the party's electoral area elections, one must be a registered member in that electoral area. They must be a member of good standing, which means that you must have paid your dues at least 1 year before the elections. You must not have forfeited your membership. And also, in the case of positions such as organizer, you must demonstrate strong fitness, vibrance, and agility. In the case of an electoral area secretary and electoral affairs, the applicant must at least have senior high school qualification. And it's your duty to satisfy the committee that you possess all these requirements. Persons entitled to vote are all elected polling station executives within the electoral area. Then once again, the data capturing shall be done by the constituency secretariat, headed by the constituency secretary, assisted by the deputy secretary, organizer, research and elections, and IT officer. They, in collaboration with the electoral area committee, shall compile this list. And once again, in constituency where the party has a certain member of parliament, the MP shall nominate a representative to be part of that data entry. And once they are done with their work will be verified by the constituency executive committee and validated by the regional steering committee. The positions to be contested for at the electoral area are electoral area chairperson, electoral area secretary, electoral area organizer, electoral affairs officer, and electoral area communication officer. We are now at constituency. Certainly we'll get there. I know some are struggling to take the shot, but it's the nature of the job. I'm also sweating doing the delivery, so it's all part of it. Pursuant to Article 727 of the party constitution, the constituency executive elections shall be conducted at the constituency delegate conference. The constituency elections shall be conducted by constituency elections committee as follows: a national representative appointed by the national steering committee, a regional representative appointed by the regional steering committee, chairman of the council of elders for the constituency, chairman of the constituency patrons, a respected elderly woman appointed by the constituency executive committee, the constituency research and elections officer, and the constituency IT officer. A member of the constituency elections committee shall not be eligible to contest in the constituency elections. So once you are a member of the elections committee, you are stopped from contesting the constituency elections. Where any member of the constituency elections committee intends to contest in the constituency elections, the constituency executive committee shall appoint a replacement for him or her on the elections committee. The constituency elections committee shall be responsible for vetting of all aspirants. Appeals from the constituency elections committee shall be as follows: a person who is dissatisfied with the vetting of the vetting by the Constituency Elections Committee has the right to appeal to the Constituency Appeals Committee. And the Constituency Appeals Committee compositions are as follows. One representative appointed by the National Steering Committee, who shall be the chair, one person appointed by the Regional Steering Committee, and one representative appointed by the party's legal directorate. For nomination forms, if you want to contest for a constituency chairperson, the amount is 1,500. You know, constituency is a bit higher, so polling station 10 Ghana, electoral area 50, but for constituency 1,500. Then for first and second vice, 1,000 Ghana cedis. All other positions are 500 Ghana cedis. So the positions to be contested for: constituency chairman, constituency first vice chairman, constituency second vice chairman, constituency secretary, constituency deputy secretary, constituency treasurer, constituency organizer, constituency women organizer, constituency youth organizer, constituency Nasara organizer, and constituency communication officer. These are the positions that one can aspire to contest. Qualification and eligibility. A person shall not be eligible to contest in the constituency executive elections unless he or she satisfy all the following conditions. Must be a registered member of the party in the constituency he intends to contest. Must be in good standing, that he must have paid all his dues in full. Resides and vote in the constituency, and must demonstrate active membership in the constituency for at least 2 years. It must not have forfeited his membership. I have explained what forfeiture means in our party. In the case of constituency secretary, then in the appointment of research officer and electoral affairs officer, the applicant must have at least a diploma or higher qualification. So in case you want to contest for the position of constituency secretary, you must have minimum diploma or higher qualification. But when these elections are done, appointments are also supposed to be made. In making the appointment for research officer and electoral affairs officer, the minimum qualification will also be diploma or higher qualifications. Persons who are entitled to vote in the constituency elections are all the members of the constituency executive committee, all the members of the electoral area executive committee, all polling station executives in the constituency, 5 members of the constituency council of elders, 5 constituency patrons, any founding member from the constituency who is a signatory to the registration documents of the party at the electoral commission, national officers who vote in the constituency, then regional officers who vote in the constituency. The presence of at least 1/3 of the delegates of the constituency shall be necessary to constitute the quorum of the constituency delegate conference. Once these elections are done, it is expected that constituency secretariat, headed by the constituency secretary, the constituency deputy secretary, constituency organizer, electoral affairs officer, and the IT officer shall key in the details in the constituency electronic system that has been developed by the party. Once again, in constituencies where the party has a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate a representative to be part of the data entry team. The said details shall be verified by the constituency committee and supervised by the regional and national secretariat. We are the final document, so we should be wrapping up very soon. This one has to do with rules and regulations for chapter executive elections. The elections shall be conducted at the chapter by the chapter elections committee to be composed of. I've earlier on explained that the chapter and branch refers to our diaspora party. So the chapter is more like the constituency, and the branch is more like the region. So you take a state like a country like US. So a chapter will be MPP group in, let's say, Washington or New York, whilst the branch is the MPP US. So that's an example. So for chapter elections committee, One rep appointed by the respective branch executive committee who shall be the chairperson. Then one person appointed by the chapter executive committee and one person appointed by the branch council of elders. A member of the chapter election committee shall not be eligible to contest for any position in the chapter elections. An aspirant in the chapter elections shall be a known and active member of the chapter in which he or she seeks to contest. An aspirant in the chapter election must be in good standing. That means he must have paid his dues in full and up to date. A person is not eligible to vote in the chapter elections unless he or she is a member in good standing. An aspirant in the chapter elections shall procure nomination forms from the chapter elections committee or download same online at a cost to be determined by the respective branch executive committee in consultation with the National Secretariat. For the avoidance of doubt, the chapter executive elections shall be held in person. That means you must be present before you can cast your vote. Positions to be contested for in the chapter elections are chapter chairpersons, chapter vice chairpersons, chapter secretary, chapter treasurer, chapter organizer, chapter woman organizer, chapter youth organizer, chapter research officer, chapter electoral affairs, and chapter communications officer. With these guidelines from the National Council, it means that all chapters' positions have been streamlined. So one country cannot have different executive positions from other countries. We are all using this same position for all the positions at the chapter. Guidelines for branch executive elections. The branch executive elections shall be conducted as follows. One representative by the National Steering Committee, who shall be the chairperson of the committee. One representative appointed by the branch executive committee. Then the branch council of elders shall constitute, the branch council of elders chairperson shall constitute the branch elections committee, and they have the power to opt other members into the committee. Once again, an aspirant or a person who is aspiring to contest in the branch election shall not be eligible to be member of the branch elections committee. Such a person must also be in good standing and can procure his form from the branch elections committee or download the form online. And no aspirant shall be denied the nomination form by the branch elections committee. The branch elections committee shall be responsible for the vet. For the avoidance of doubt, branch executive elections shall again be held in persons, just like the chapter election. Branch elections shall be held in persons, and therefore, if you want to vote, you must vote in person and not through any other means. The positions to be contested for are branch chairpersons, branch first vice chairperson, second vice chairperson, branch secretary, branch deputy secretary, branch treasurer, branch organizer, branch women organizer, branch youth organizer, branch Nasara organizer, and branch communication officer. The elected branch executives shall appoint qualified persons to occupy the following positions: branch research officer, branch electoral affairs officer, deputy branch women organizer, deputy branch youth organizer, deputy branch organizer, deputy branch Nasara organizer, financial secretary, PWD coordinator, and legal officer. Now to regional elections. The regional executive elections shall be conducted by the regional elections committee as constituted as follows: 2 national representatives appointed by the National Steering Committee, one of whom shall be the chair and the other as secretary. Chairman of the Regional Council of Elders, chairman of the regional patrons, and 1 representative appointed by the Regional Executive Committee. 1 representative from the Regional Parliamentary Caucus, the Regional Research and Election Officer, and the Regional IT Officer will constitute the Regional Elections Committee. A member of the Regional Elections Committee shall not be eligible to contest in the regional elections, and vetting shall be done by the Regional Elections Committee. Regional appeals, where a person has an appeal from the decision of the Regional Elections Committee, a committee has been composed with the composition as 2 representatives appointed by the National Executive Committee, NEC, and 1 representative appointed by the Legal Directorate. And the Regional Appeals Committee shall make a determination within 48 hours. Where a petitioner is still dissatisfied, he may appeal against the decision of the decision to the National Steering Committee, with further recourse to the National Executive Committee, whose decision shall be final. For someone who wants to contest for regional chairmanship position, the amount is 10,000 Ghana cedis. If you want to become the regional chairperson or regional chairman, the amount is 10,000 Ghana cedis. For vice chairperson, it's 8,000 Ghana cedis, and all other positions is 5,000 Ghana cedis. However, a rebate has been given to youth, women, and persons with disability for whatever amount that each group, from constituency to region, if you are a youth, woman, or persons with disability, the rebate is 50%. So the positions to be contested for at the regions are regional chairman, regional first vice chairman, regional second vice chairman, regional secretary, deputy regional secretary, regional treasurer, regional organizer, regional women's organizer, regional youth organizer, regional national organizer, and regional communication officer. For a person to qualify to contest in the regional election, once again, you must be a registered member of the party. You must be in good standing, which means you should have paid your dues at least in the last year or in the last 4 years for regional officers, Then resides and votes in the region. Must be an active party member in the region for at least 2 years and must not have forfeited your membership. Then persons entitled to vote in the regional elections are all members of the Regional Executive Committee, all members of Parliament, MPP members of Parliament in the region, all members of the Constituency Executive Committee, all regional representatives of the National Council, 10 members of the Regional Council of Elders, 10 members of the regional patrons, TESCOM president from each recognized TESCOM institution or tertiary institution in the region, all founding members from the region who are signatories to the registration document of the party at the Electoral Commission. The presence of at least 1/3 of the delegates of the regional conference shall be necessary to constitute the quorum for the delegate conference. Then lastly, national elections. National elections. National party officers' elections. The elections shall be supervised by the National Elections Officers Committee, National Elections Officers Committee, and these are the composition. For National Officers Elections Committee, we have 3 representatives appointed by the National Executive Committee, one of whom shall be the chairperson. National Council of Elders chairperson, the Director of Electoral Affairs, 2 elderly women appointed by the National Executive Committee, and Director of IT. For nomination fees, if you want to contest for the national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the nomination cost is 50,000 Ghana cedis. For vice chairpersons, it's 30,000 Ghana cedis. For general secretary, if you want to unseat me, you have to pay 25,000 Ghana cedis. All other positions is 10,000 Ghana cedis. For special ranks, Nasara, women, youth, and persons with disability, they shall pay 8,000 Ghana cedis. National Officers Elections Committee shall, in consultation with the National Executive Committee, prepare detailed guidelines for the conduct of the National Officers Elections. So with respect to National Officers Election, a detailed guideline will be presented in due course. But in all this, it is expected that all aspirants shall be required to strictly adhere to the following code of conduct. All aspirants shall campaign on issues and refrain from leveling unsubstantiated allegations, personal attacks, and vilifications against their opponents. No aspirant shall undertake any activity that will polarize the party along tribal, religious, and other factional lines. Aspirants shall also require their supporters not to engage in any of the activities stated above. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the detailed guidelines for the New Patriotic internal party election for 2026. Thank you very much for your patience. Treat the mess and married here. Are you ready? Any animal, any adofomo. Mefa akonya reso na mama munyina akwaba. Aba Osno Kokoko Amayoku National Headquarters. Enra party no impenifo I won National Council shiaye. Na ne nyina ne se ebra ye de beye ye party elections no edun komo ye wie ye no na ese general secretary me de asem no beto abonten na Ghana fo nyina ne party fo nyina ate enkoma ekọ so ebra National Council shiaye. Edikan National Council shiaye no ye the date by say ebra ye be elections nya ye say ansana ye be elections omo a omo gitum so omo ye MPP for eno omo a omo so omo ka MPP ho no akonya abeda ho say a free first match na koso polling stations baby e to aba no abetima twa omudin to sha say 4 weeks at least say meeting prenna.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. So spray. Mr. Friendly is so cool. Yeah, go to my
Seeing her that he's not seeing me. Look at me.
Eugene and Anina can abstain.
Why abstain?
I have been seeing through your shenanigans all night.
I thought I told you that I didn't want to see that girl in this house again.
I'm sorry, Cinnamon.
You have lost. I've won the battle. Get over it.
Battle?
Whiny. I like you very much. That's why I brought you this.
Protect me?
Yes, I'm ready to listen to you.
Now, the baby is big.
Because I saw her in your car.
Just stop it. They have to pay for what they've done to me.
Saturday has been postponed. Kids in Worship has been postponed to the 6th of March. Independence Day. So that instead of 21st February, it was supposed to be this Saturday, but it has been processed and your fathers, everybody to join you so that we'll have a lot of fun. So the program has been postponed to 6th of March. Same venue, Children's Park. I can't wait to see you on Ghana's independence. The day I gained my freedom, I came back to you all children. Thank you for the love. And what is that means? I'll be school. I love you, Ghana. I love you, children. I love you, parents. And I love myself. God be the glory. God.
A fighter, she never gives up on love. If you have gets what she wants by any means.
Listen, Alvaro.
It's time for you to make a choice. Your baby with Angela or your future with me.
The story gets better with more suspense, love, and intrigues.
Home to building a legacy for your family. The Homeowner Show has been your trusted guide.
How sure are you what you're getting is the right land? And it has to do with searches.